Welcome back, Exiles. In today's beginner's guide, I am going to give you a brief explanation on how life works in Path of Exile 2. What exactly is life? So life refers to your character's health pool, represented by a red bar on the screen, which decreases when you take damage and results in your death if it reaches 0. So when you die in Path of Exile 2, you can either choose to resurrect in town or the nearest checkpoint. Life is the most fundamental way to measure your character's durability, although other defense layers like energy shield, which we'll talk about later, and armor also play a significant role. So when you take damage to your health, just how exactly do you replenish it? Well, the first way is by using life flasks. So life flasks are a type of consumable item which, when used, restore a portion of your character's health over a short period of time, essentially acting as a healing potion that can be recharged and used multiple times during combat. They are considered to be one of the most important defensive tools in the game. Now keep in mind, I will make a separate guide on life flasks and mana flasks, so please look forward to that, but this is just a brief explanation on how life flasks work in relation to restoring health for your character. We also have life regeneration, which is another type of recovery that automatically restores life over time. This can be obtained through a number of different ways, such as equipment. Gloves, helmets and boots can have this mod on it, body armor and belts as well. You can also get life regeneration from the passive skill tree, as well as some class specific ascendancy nodes. Life Leech allows the character to recover life based on the damage they deal to enemies. Basically, when a character hits an enemy, a percentage of the damage dealt is returned to the character's life pool as a Leech instance. There is a Life Leech support gem called Life Thief, and the passive skill tree also has some nodes on Life Leech if you really want to go deeper into a Life Leech focused build. Now let's talk about permanently increasing your health pool in Path of Exile 2. So there are 3 major ways to increase your health permanently in this game. Firstly is by leveling up. So for each level you gain plus 12 to maximum health, which means at level 10 you can have 120 health just by leveling up. The second way is by investing into the strength attribute. So for every strength that you have, you gain plus 2 to your maximum life. So if you choose to go for a strength node on the passive tree, so 5 strength, that means you gain plus 10 to your maximum life. This is very good for classes that scale heavily with strength, such as mercenary and the warrior. Because of that, they tend to have a higher health pool compared to other characters like the witch or the monk that scale heavily with intelligence and dexterity. The third and final way is by having life rolls on your equipment. So body armor, helmets, belts, gloves, amulet rings can all have life rolls. So look for items that have explicit maximum life bonuses, usually displayed as a flat number, so something like plus 52 maximum life, and prioritize gear with high life rolls on the relevant stats like strength, usually for most classes. You can also consider unique items that may have significant life boosting properties depending on your build. So now, just because I said strength gives you life doesn't mean you have to invest in strength with every class. For example, the witch scales off of intelligence, so you won't really find yourself investing into strength all that much unless you're going for a very specific build. So every 10 intelligence gives you 2% increase to your total energy shield pool. So the energy shield is basically just a shield that needs to be broken before going to your life. So the shield covers your life, and this thing needs to be destroyed first before you start taking damage to your life. I will make a separate video on an energy shield, so don't you worry. So in this case, the witch will have a bigger energy shield than, let's say, a warrior who scales off of strength. The warrior will have a larger life pool, but the witch will have a larger energy shield pool. There are advantages and disadvantages to having much of each, but each has its strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so just how much health should you have, and how much health is the sweet spot? Now this depends on a lot of different factors. So for low to mid levels, honestly, just prioritize equipment with life rolls and you should be good. These can be very difficult to come by at low level, but if you can, whichever equipment you get that has life rolls, prioritize that over everything else, because at low to mid level you die a lot if you don't have enough health or enough energy shield. Basically, try to be as tanky as possible depending on what class you pick, of course. But again, prioritize life rolls and you should be okay up to the end game. As for end game, like I said, it depends on a lot of different factors. For example, you can have 1000 health but have a bunch of evasion rating, making you even more difficult to hit, and you can still be good. You can have a bunch of armor but only have 1000 health, still making you very tanky. So there isn't really one specific number you want to go for, but if I would give a value, I would say somewhere between 1.5 health, 1.5k health to 2k health for a level 75 character. So there you have it, guys, a basic understanding on how life works in Path of Exile 2. In my next video, I'll take a look at energy shield and mana for the next one after that. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Please do consider subscribing. I am covering Path of Exile 2 content now, and I plan on making a ton of beginner guides before the game comes out this year. Thank you so much, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, and stay sane. Exiles, GG.